I didn't even think I was going to cover this story because, when Olivia Wilde came out and said that, she fired Shia LaBeouf, I was like, all right, I don't really give a shit. I don't care. But Olivia Wilde, uh, kind of got exposed. Although I'm gonna say this right now, I don't think it matters. I'm gonna say it straight up. I know Shia LaBeouf has done a lot of bad stuff. I know I saw his interview with John Berthel. Honestly, I'm not going to talk about that, although that's a far more serious issue. But I also feel like I'm out of my range because I'm not fully educated on that and I don't want to spread misinformation. So I'll just, you guys go ahead, do some research on that, but I'm not going to be the guy to break that. But I'm going to talk about this. So I'm going to give you guys context. But first, let's read the headline. Shia LaBeouf denies he was fired from Olivia Wilde's Don't Worry, Darling. And he said that he quit the film. Now, the reason why he's saying this is because Olivia Wilde was on an interview, and originally so everyone's been knowing this, but Shia LaBeouf was supposed to be playing the role of where Harry Styles is right now. So, Don't Worry, Darling is supposed to be coming out next month, I believe. I'm excited for the movie. I think the trailers look good. Uh, but Olivia Wilde came out and said, "Oh, we had to fire Shia LaBeouf. He wasn't the right fit and all that." And then Shia LaBeouf came back with some receipts. Now I think he showed emails, he showed text messages, but there's specifically a clip that she sent to Shia LaBeouf. We're gonna watch it in a bit, but first we're gonna read the article, and then I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts. You guys are more than welcome to comment in the comment section down below. Give me your thoughts. But anyways, it says Shia LaBeouf has come forward to dispute the assertion that he was fired from Don't Worry, Darling by director Olivia Wilde just as production was starting in 2020. LaBeouf asserts that he chose to leave the production because he didn't feel the actors were given adequate time to rehearse in the August 24th cover story with Variety. Wilde opened up for the first time about LaBeouf's departure from the film. I say this as someone who is such an admirer of his work. His process was not conducive to the ethos that I demand in my productions. He has a process that in some ways seems to require a combative energy, and I don't personally believe that is conducive to the best performances. I believe that creating a safe, trusting environment is the best way to get people to do their best work. Ultimately, my responsibility is to the production and the cast to protect them. That was my job. So right here, she kind of makes it seem like, he wasn't right for the job. Maybe he, probably not the best to work with. So we kind of let him go and replaced him with Harry Styles. That's basically what she is insinuating. But then here, LaBeouf's representatives declined Variety's request for comment on the matter when contacted prior to the story's publication. But in email messages sent to Variety on Thursday, LaBeouf denied he was fired, instead claiming he quit the film due to lack of rehearsal time. So that's the main thing. Uh, yeah, so that's it. On August 17, 2020, the actor forwarded two emails he claims to have sent to Wilde on Wednesday and Thursday about the Variety cover story was published. In the emails, LaBeouf wrote, "You and I both know the reasons for my exit. I quit your film because your actors and I couldn't find time to rehearse." Several studio sources told Variety at the time to LaBeouf's exit that he had been fired from the project, but another source with knowledge of the situation describes the parting as more of a collective recognition that LaBeouf's style of acting wasn't a good fit for Wilde's approach as a director. Representatives for Wilde and Warner Bros. Declined to comment. LaBeouf sent Variety screenshots of text messages he sent to Wilde in August 2020, where he told Wilde he'd have to back out of Don't Worry, Darling. He was cast as the lead actor Jack, which was later recast with Harry Styles. According to the text, LaBeouf and Wilde met in person in Los Angeles to discuss his exit from the film on August 16, 2020. Later that night, Wilde texted him, "Thanks for letting me in your thought process. I know that isn't fun, doesn't feel good to say to someone, and I respect your honesty. I'm honored you were willing to go there with me, for me to tell a story with you. I'm gutted because it could have been something special. I want to make clear how much it means to me that you trust me. That's a gift I'll take with me." Variety has learned that the texts were sent before the production learned what Shia's immersive method entailed. LaBeouf claims he officially quit Don't Worry, Darling the next day on August 17, 2020, according to the email he sent to Wilde on Thursday morning. In his email to Variety, he included a video that Wilde allegedly sent him on August 19, 2020, 2 days after he claimed he quit. In the video, Wilde is driving a car. And we're not going to say what it is, but we're about to, you know what, let's just watch the clip now. This is why I actually do believe Shia, because this clip is just proof. Basically, it's almost. I mean, let's acknowledge this. We do not know the full story. We weren't there. None of us, me, you, whoever's watching this video, we were not there. The only people who know is Olivia, Shia, and the other people who were involved in this. But we'll watch this clip. So.
Shia, I just went riding my horse, very sweaty, but I wanted to reach out because I feel like I'm not ready to give up on this yet, and I too am heartbroken, and I want to figure this out. And I think this might be a bit of a wake-up call for Miss Flo, and I want to know if you're open to giving
Miss Flo is Florence Pugh, by the way, so just want to clarify that.
this a shot with me, with us. If she really commits, if she really puts her mind and heart into it at this point, and if you guys can make peace, and I respect your point of view, I respect hers, but if you guys can do it, what do you think? Is there hope? Is there hope? You let me know. Okay.
So, first of all, in the clip, it basically kind of says that Shia was the one that quit. That's kind of what it felt like. Olivia Wilde has been in this business for quite some time. I don't get why, in the age of the internet, where somebody can just copy and paste and play what you sent to someone out in the public at any second, I don't get why you would send a video like this. At least with text messages, people could still be like, oh, those were photoshopped, those aren't real, whatever. You could still think that. And even then, it would seem a little less. I know some people are saying this sounds desperate. As a director, I think that's good. When you're a director, you should be communicating with each and every actor and actress on set, especially your main ones. You should. You got to get the best out of them. You got to make sure everything works best for you. So as somebody who likes seeing directors care about the actors and actresses, I got to give her props for this. However, it is stupid. You should have called them. You should have called them instead and said, hey, can we talk privately, whether it's on the phone, whether it's a Skype call, Zoom, especially back in 2020, instead of just sending a clip that he could easily save. I don't know. That's the dumb part. This isn't anything serious. I don't really give a shit. This is just TMZ drama. But let's read the rest. In another message sent at I'll say this too. A lot of people are saying, oh, this is shots fired at Florence Pugh. It doesn't sound like that. To me, it just sounds like Florence and Shia just didn't have good chemistry. Like Idris Elba and his daughters. God, I'm just kidding. But no, it just sounded like they didn't have good chemistry, and she was trying to get Shia to stay on the project. And part of that was that Shia and Florence didn't have good chemistry. I'm noticing nobody's really talking about that. But, sometimes actors just don't have good chemistry with one another. It doesn't seem like anything too serious happened on set, but I don't know. In another message sent at an unspecified time between August 16 and August 20, Wilde texted LaBeouf, you don't have to be in my movies, but don't ever doubt me. We pinky promised. That means something in my house. Here, and it sounds like she really wanted Shia to be on the movie. But here is LaBeouf's email to Wilde sent on Wednesday. So this is something that happened recently. So this was after what Olivia said publicly, to Variety, saying that Shia was fired. And this is what he sent her after this. I hope this finds you inspired, purposeful, fulfilled, and well. I pray every night that you and your family have health, happiness, and everything God would give me. No joke, every night before I sleep. I have a little girl, Isabel. She is 5 months old and just beginning to develop the last half of her life. I said life, my bad. It's amazing. Mia, my wife, and I have found each other again and are journeying toward a healthy family with love and mutual respect. I've embarked on a journey that feels redemptive and righteous, dirty word but fitting. I write you now with 627 days of sobriety and a moral compass that never existed before my great humbling that was the last year and a quarter of my life. I reached out to you a few months ago to make amends, and I still pray one day you can find space in your heart to forgive me for the failed collaboration we shared. What inspired this email today is your latest Variety story. I am greatly honored by your words on my work. Thank you. That felt good to read. I am a little confused about the narrative that I was fired. However, you and I both know the reasons for my exit. I quit your film because your actors and I couldn't find the time to rehearse. I have included as a reminder the screenshots of our text exchange on that day and my text to Toby. I know that you are beginning your press run for Don't Worry Darling, and that the news of my firing is attractive clickbait, as I am still persona non grata. persona grata. I don't know what the fuck that means. And may remain as such for the rest of my life. But speaking of my daughter, I often think about news articles she will read when she is literate. And though I owe and will owe for you for the rest of my life, I will owe I only owe for my own actions. My fallings with twigs are fundamental and real, but they are not the narrative that has been presented. There is a time and place to deal with such things, and I'm trying to navigate a nuanced situation with respect for her and the truth, hence my silence. But this situation with your film and my firing will never have a court date with which to deal with the facts. If lies are repeated enough in the public, they become true. That is true. And so it makes it that much harder for me to crawl out of the hole. Reference to the whole movie. I'm just kidding. I have dug with my behaviors to be able to provide for my family. Firing me never took place, Olivia. And while I fully understand the attractiveness of pushing that story because of the current social landscape, the social currency that brings it is not the truth. So I humbly asking, as a person with an eye towards making things right, that you correct the narrative as best as you can. I hope none of this negatively affects you and that your film is successful in all the ways you want it to be. Every blessing to you, Shia. So there's I gotta respect Shia on one thing. That was a very professional way to say it was like, hey, look, you lied about me. And look, one thing I do not like, is when people lie. Especially, I mean, let's not deny it. This isn't really anything that serious. Even if Shia got fired, who gives a shit? You know, at the end of the day, he's just not in the movie, and who cares? But I will say this. Why the heck would you make up this lie? What do you have to gain from it? I cannot stand liars. I don't like liars. I don't like it. I mean, there are some times where you do gotta lie, protect those who you love. I don't know. Sometimes you got to do it. But in this situation, I just don't see any reason why to lie. The only thing I can see is because Shia LaBeouf is currently not popular. Currently, there's issues with Shia. It's kind of easy to punch him down. It's kind of like right now, punching down on Ezra Miller. It's easy to because everyone hates Ezra right now. And it's just easy to do that. So if you make a video criticizing Ezra, you'll probably get a lot more support than hate. That's usually how it happens in the world. And look, I don't know much. I'm not educated on the Shia stuff. It seems like he did a lot of bad stuff, so I'm not going to speak on that. But regardless, you still shouldn't lie. And I don't see why Olivia. Now, I guess you could say that it makes it sound, oh, look, Olivia doesn't take BS for an answer. And, as a director, you want to sound like that. So that way when actors work with you in the future, they're like, all right, I'm not going to mess with her. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to work my hardest and then do the project that, do my job. But at the same time, if you know that, did she forget that Shia had this footage? It's just stupid. It's not a serious thing. Who gives a shit if Shia was fired or not? But I also can't blame Shia for correcting this. I probably would have been more frustrated. I would have messaged Olivia and said, hey, you lied about me straight up. And Olivia's being embarrassed right now, but that's her fault. That's nobody else's fault. And the thing that sucks most about this is now this is going to take away all the focus on Don't Worry, Darling. Anytime there's drama on a movie, on the set, or anything at all within an actor or director working on the movie, it causes people to stop focusing on the movie itself or show, whatever, and focus on the actor, actress, director, whatever. Just look at The Flash. All the focus is right now on Ezra Miller, when people should be focusing on the Flash movie. We're going to see Michael Keaton return. We're going to see Sasha Calle make her debut as Supergirl. We're going to see a lot of cool things in the Flash movie. But instead, people are talking about Ezra Miller because everyone loves TMZ drama because it gets the clicks. I guarantee you this video is going to get clicks just because I'm talking about Olivia Wilde. But that's frustrating because now people are going to watch Don't Worry, Darling saying, look, Harry Styles is just the replacement of Shia. I mean, we've all known that, but now it kind of reoccurred now. By the way, this will not affect the movie box office wise. It's not. If anything, it may have got more people to go watch the movie now, or maybe there's like one or two people who just aren't going to go. Who gives a shit? It is, again, no matter what outcome happened in this story, it's a nobody gives a crap about. But still, it just kind of takes away a little bit of the focus from the movie itself and focuses on this BS drama. And again, I don't understand why Olivia had to lie. it just comes off as embarrassing. It comes off as, I don't know. It's just stupid. It's silly. Uh, I don't get it. And Shia, at least in this situation, I'm only talking about this situation. Shia came off as the one in the right. Uh, I mean, he brought the receipts. Olivia doesn't have receipts. Of course, maybe there's some. Again, we weren't there. We don't know the full situation. So maybe there's something we don't know. Or I would say more than likely there's something we don't know. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. I don't get why Olivia did this, but she did. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.